I do have skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is the 9th of April 2018. Little update for you on the $80 ticket saga for all those that have been following. Well, the prosecutor filed her submissions or memorandum in response to my submissions for costs. She filed it was about a 34-page document, half of which was all taken up with case law reference. She used Latin phrases. I don't know if that was in an attempt to confuse me, I don't know. She used Latin. She got so many facts incorrect. She was presupposing that her evidence was strong, even though we'd already had a trial and they had no evidence that I was even driving the vehicle or there that day. No witness, no evidence of an 80km/h temporary zone existing, nothing. But she still stood by the grounds that their evidence was strong and could have easily got convicted. She went on to tell me that I should be happy with having the benefit of having the matter dismissed. I don't know about you, but being dragged into court 4 times over 10 months isn't really a benefit. I could have just been an ignorant fucking sheep and just shut up and paid the $80 ticket and all would have been well. I wouldn't have been exercising my rights, you know, just been one of the masses, shut up and pay. However, I didn't, because I held them to their claim. Because remember, it's not my case, it's the prosecution's case. They're basically relying on presumptions that are written in the Land Transport Act, Section 133, where it's presumed that the registered owner is the defendant of an alleged offence unless they get a statutory declaration or something as a defence back. It's not something you must do, but given that I had a plea entered of not guilty, I think that's their answer. It wasn't me. Now, because they couldn't prove their case, she then went on to say that, well, challenged the court's jurisdiction to even award costs. The court had jurisdiction to hear the matter. The court had jurisdiction to make a finding in the matter and dismiss the case, although they did say dismiss with consent. But the last time I checked, a court, the judge, JB, doesn't need consent from either party to dismiss a case. So that's just a polite way of saying, I'll give the prosecution what they want. Now she's saying, the prosecutor is saying that they moved to withdraw the case on the 28th because it didn't meet the public guidelines under the Crown prosecutions. The thing is, they can't withdraw the case under Criminal Procedure Act Section 2011, Section 146(1). They can't withdraw the case once a trial has already happened. It's only prior to a trial that they can withdraw. After which, it's up to the judge. The matter's been heard. They don't get to pull out afterwards. You know? So, in response to Kate's pathetic excuse for a memorandum, really, I mean, she referred to registration plate AAUW69. That's not this vehicle's registration plate. That's the site location where the camera prick was parked. She's got nothing to do with this vehicle. So she can't even get banks right. She says she submitted or was moving to have the thing withdrawn on the 16th of February. 16th of February is when we got the minute from the judge inviting us back because the Ministry of Justice had lost the entire February 9th trial. February 16th, she didn't move to do fuck all. I still haven't got the transcript from the 28th of February, even though the judge made a special point to say that I would be getting it. I haven't had a response back from Jackson Cussing. He was supposed to get back to me by the 28th of March, which he didn't do. He then sent me an email saying he's been delayed, blah, 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 waiting on some more fucking information, and he's going to get back to me by the 6th. Well, it's the 9th now. Jackson hasn't got back to me. So he's blowing me off. It's really a bad move. So, being me, I filed my response to that pathetic memo from Kate Blackmore 2 days early. Now the fact that Kate filed the memo on the 23rd and it was all supplied to all of us on the 23rd, 2 days late from the time set by the court. I don't know about you, but can we say contempt of court? Now granted, in the memo, she apologised for it being filed late. So as we all know, any contempt of court is reset by an apology. Because she apologised, she got herself off the hook of being in contempt on that factor. Though I think it's pretty contemptuous to question the court's jurisdiction when it comes to awarding costs. Now, not only did she use Latin, which I, of course, responded threefold back at her, because she might say inter alias, which means among other things. I'm saying things like inter alios means among other people, inter alias, I'm saying corpus delicti, onus probandi, but you know, she wants to play let's speak in a dead fucking language. I'm happy to do that all day long. She stated that because I'm not a barrister or solicitor, I'm not entitled to the fees under the fee schedule. Well, when you read through that, it says as a party to the proceedings, which myself being a self-represented defendant was. Now she's gone on and said that I'm a self-representing litigant. So, I mean, Dad always told me, you know, don't let people call you names unless you know what they are. So, of course, I looked up what a litigant is. A litigant, according to Butterworth's Law Dictionary, is a party to a civil proceedings. You might realise that the speed camera ticket is a criminal proceedings, therefore I am not a litigant. And all of her pretty case law that she supplied is only to do with self-representing litigants and appellants in High Court and appeals. There's nothing to do with a Schedule 1 offence in the District Court. Not that I'm legally trained to have the capacity to comprehend what she's brought up, but I can do my best guess, eh? So, yeah, it was 34 pages of bullshit, basically. So, in response, and what I've done is I've itemised, I went and took a photo of the prices at Victoria Park for the parking. I'm asking now, claiming for less parking costs, even though I got it slightly wrong and claimed 100 instead of 96, which she jumped all over. The parking, because it was dismissed by lunchtime on the 28th, only cost me $12 instead of $24, so I corrected that. So I'm actually claiming for less now. I've supplied documentation or evidence that I was given sleeping tablets to help me sleep after studying hundreds of hours of legislation because I was finding it difficult to sleep. With that much shit going on in your head, it's really hard to rest afterwards. It's like doing a marathon. Your biggest muscle on your body is being used and it's exhausting afterwards. So yeah, I got some help. I got a couple of sleeping tablets from the doctor to help me get some rest. All of these things come into play. I've given her the 70 km/h mileage that it takes from my residence to court and back again, which is a 70k trip according to Google Maps. And then I've shown her the kilometres per litre mileage or kilometres per litre that the card gives me, and I've given her the average calculation, which is $20 gas. I pretty much every fault she's got in that memo, I've listed out her faults. I've used facts and only facts to back my response. Things like legislative references, which there are plenty of. The amicus curiae in his letter to me on the 5th of February, asking me if I was the driver. Not once, but twice. That's what you call a breach of your Bill of Rights, Section 25C or D, where you have the right not to be compelled to be a witness or to confess guilt. And yet the amicus, which the court appointed to help the court, did nothing but try and draw a confession from me. So I don't know how many different ways you want to say miscarriage of justice. The judge was happy to suggest that if I could substantiate the fact that the New Zealand police, in all of their abundant ignorance, chose to not respond to me for 5 months and my 3 or 4 separate requests for initial disclosure, and given that a plea, not guilty plea or deemed not guilty plea from old Judge Timothy Black, the arsehole that was certainly not impartial, given he deemed a not guilty plea, he was supposed to tell me what the offence was. He was supposed to read it out to me. He was supposed to be satisfied I had been fully and fairly informed. He was supposed to be satisfied that I had had initial disclosure in accordance with Criminal Disclosure Act, Section 12.1. He didn't. So, I mean, how many different ways can they fuck up trying to prosecute one guy for an $80 ticket? I counted over 20. Now the prosecution, of course, in all of their infinite wisdom, have turned around and pointed the finger solely at the Ministry of Justice. They're saying we're wanting to dismiss or withdraw the matter now because the Ministry of Justice, because the Ministry of Justice lost the February 9th hearing. The entire judge-alone trial gone. You know, it might be that they want to hide the case law that I could have said. It might be that they wanted to hide the fact that the witness lied on the stand repetitively. They might want to hide some of the things I brought up. They won't be hiding it for good. I can guarantee you that. Because somebody may have still even recorded the entire missing lost trial. And that may just show up in the public realm sooner or later. So, you know, I'm not the type of guy to just be pacified with a little letter saying, thanks for your feedback, we'll get back to you. Oh no, Jackson learnt that one firsthand. So, where I'm at now is that I've asked for a minimum of $164 for the petrol and parking, $84 parking, $80 petrol for the 4 separate trips and parking. I've asked for $226 for each appearance, which to me is perfectly reasonable, given the amount of bullshit these cunts have put me through. And you might say, well, you requested the hearing. Yes, because I'm not a stupid cunt and just shut up and pay like all of you other idiots out there, helping the $86 million a year revenue collection in regards to speeding tickets. So, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. You all just don't know any better. You're all too busy with the rat race of life. Doing your jobs, paying your rent, keeping food on the table, looking after your family, looking after sick or injured people or people less fortunate. You're all busy doing that shit, and I get it. Not many people have the time, like I've had, to research and study law as I have, just as a hobby. There are a few far between. Special shout out to the lady that has been following this case, because she knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, that is the update, ladies and gentlemen, as to what's happening with the $80 ticket saga. Got a new oven in the back, Need to go and pick that up. So yeah, I'm going to be installing ovens and fixing leaky pipes where I've had a rat chew through a water pipe. Fucking bastards. Always this time of year. Rats, mate. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything else to add. Kate, Rita, Georgina, Roger, and of course Nicola, Judge Mathers, who I still have the greatest respect for, I might add. The rest, nah, not so much. But her, she's been nothing but impartial and independent in this whole thing, from what I can make out anyway. So, to all of them, I hope you enjoy my 65-page response to her 35-page memo. I hope you enjoy my 34 pages of faults, errors, and failures of rules, procedures, regulations, and due process that I've pointed out during those 34 pages. And I hope you enjoy the 31 pages of law references and factual evidence that I'm using. I'm not using presumptions that are written into legislation. Should I be a passive acquiescence and just shut up? No, because that's the only way they would win on a speeding ticket. If I ask for a hearing, it's presumed I'm the driver unless otherwise stated. You know, that's all they work on, is a presumption. They've got a photo of the car, I'm presumed the registered owner, therefore I'm presumed the driver. Even though there's two registered owners, could have been 50-50, eh? Doesn't really do well for the beyond reasonable doubt argument, does it? So, sorry for bleating on a bit much, guys. I'm just slowly driving back out home, and I thought it's only fair to give you all an update. It is the 9th of April, as I've said. I have emailed all of those that I've mentioned in this little video my submissions, or my response to the memorandum. So, yeah, I would suggest to Kate that if you're going to put something in writing, get your facts straight. I mean, how stupid do you have to be? You know, the whole kit and caboodle from start to get-go. Vicky Hicks, first prosecutor, completely useless. Mike McMurtry, oh, don't blame me, type attitude on him. Well, if he's wearing that blue fucking uniform, then it's not a me, it's a we, it's an us, it's a they, it's a police. Don't take it so personally, Mike. You know, you're the muppet that put on the costume. You're the one that tried to start saying, making claims. And I know it's not you personally, but it's the fucking club that you represent, buddy. It's that little gang clubhouse that's making lots of money legally out of the acquiescence of the average Joe Blow. Anyway, enough of my spiel. I could go on literally for days about the amount of fuck-ups throughout this hearing. When I'm done, and when I get a response in regards to the filings I've just submitted today, then I will keep you guys all informed. When the matter is completely concluded and the decision is made on the costs, then things will be getting published for all to see. At the moment, on YouTube, there's only, I think, parts 1 through to 5 and a couple of updates afterwards that I've released publicly. The rest is already uploaded and ready to be published, or already set as private to be made public. And as for, I don't know, the possible recordings of lost hearings, never know, they may show up too, eh? Showing the absolute corruption that goes on. I'd point out just one little special thing though. Whenever I brought up something relevant, like exchanging my right to travel freely along the common way, accessing the public common way, versus driving using a road in a commercial capacity, and I brought up exchanging a right for the privilege, she didn't want to go into it. Whenever I brought up the fact that amicus curiae had been breaching my fucking Bill of Rights by compelling me to testify, she didn't want to go into it. Whenever I brought up the testimony, or lack of that put me anywhere near the vehicle on the fucking day, she didn't want to know about it. She didn't want to rehash all the lies on the stand on the 28th. So, so I don't think we need to go there, Mr. Keane, which means, fuck up, don't want to talk about that, you're right. Anyway, I hope you're all really doing well. As far as the parking ticket for my mate Mr. Wind in the trees, that's gone. Haven't heard nothing more about it. Just completely exposed the corruption there on private parking and private parking practices and enforcement. The fact that a private business can use a docket book from an enforcement service and think they have the right to issue out fucking tickets and fees and fines. No, can't do it, sorry. No contract. So, yeah, that was a fun one. Didn't take long to make those idiots eat their words in regards to it. So, yeah. Until I catch up with you guys all again, there will be many more videos coming up. Many hours of watching. If you're bored, and to the police, I mean, like that one where I got pulled over by this muppet just approaching this roundabout at the same speed I'm doing right now. I'm doing the same speed, and he pulls across me and says his brakes on. Then I go around him and I pull up here, and he pulls me over where the grey car is. Alright? When Jordan Upton, EN42, was so scared that I was going to hit him that he thought he'd infringe on my right to travel freely, then do a I breath test everybody bullshit. When he did that, within the first 2 days of uploading that video, there are over 200 views, which for me is a lot. I'll say that. I mean, back when Brian stopped me outside the cop shop and the peeping and peering story, you know, that one in the first week got over 2,000 views. That blew me away. But you can guess what demographic of people are actually watching these videos, because of the 195 or whatever views that I got in the first couple of days from Jordan's little video, I got a lot of thumbs down, which I can only presume that there's a lot of cops watching it. You know, if you cops have got a hard on for me, go have a toss off in the bathroom. Go on, knock yourselves out, because you ain't coming near me in a month or some days. Because, yeah, whether or not you put alright, little ducklings, listen very carefully. Whether you watch the clip and put a thumbs up, or whether you watch the clip and put a thumbs down, it still counts as a view, and it still helps my channel view count go up.